Hi, well, I'm Natasha Darnall, and I'm a product manager. I didn't arrive this way through the direct path of learning what a product manager was and going off and doing it. It was a path by which I landed in the games industry through an opportunity that was through a friend, and I think that's probably how a lot of people end up in games, is someone gives you a leg up. Um, but my background was at least starting in college through linguistics, and there isn't really a lot you can do with a linguistics degree other than maybe become a speech therapist or a translator or what have you. And I knew that wasn't what I wanted to do. Um, but I started in the film industry because I thought film was fascinating and I wanted to be in entertainment, and I lived in Southern California. So I worked in the business of the business for a few years, and I don't tell everybody that because that dates me even more. I'm in my 40s now. But as I was traversing the film industry, I got an opportunity to work in casual games, and my first game was Trivial Pursuit Online, which was Blast, for Sony Online Entertainment, which at the time was the home of Jeopardy online. So that was part of how we kept hold of the trivia market for the Netscape age. um, but I'd been in casual games and found my place in mobile gaming for quite some time, over 15 years in mobile games, where I felt like the innovation that was required, the uh, just the drive and initiative that was required in order to succeed in mobile games was really where it was at for me. And over time, I found that product management, whether it was in games or elsewhere, was really what was really exciting for me. So I've been a product manager more recently, coming out of project management, and I've been head of product for a couple of startups since. And now I'm working at a small R&D shop where we can do some really innovative stuff, and I can kick back and do things that are interesting and not worry about keeping a startup afloat. Well, I was thinking about that, and there are a couple things. I think one thing that harks back to changes that I might have made in my own career are the things that I find so interesting today, which are learning to code for kids. Some of the things they have now to make coding really understandable and fun for kids, like MIT's Scratch platform and some other things that, as I have kids now, I can see them having access to. I'm really jealous. I wish I could have had access to that back in the day, but in those days when I was a kid, it was C and basic and all the hard ways to code. And it just wasn't as appealing back then. So I'm really overjoyed by the fact that becoming a coder is so much easier than it is or than it used to be. But another thing that I think my kids helped me to be inspired by is the environmentalism that I think I wished I had pursued when I had maybe been a little bit earlier on. But my son's a real environmentalist, and I think that's super fun. But one of the things I'm working on that is along those lines, perhaps, is a virtualization product for the fashion industry. So it helps sustainability because if you can virtualize the garment in an environment that really helps people understand how fit works, etc., you don't have to sew nearly as many samples and ship them around. So
Yeah.
that's been really exciting. Briefly, I think the first thing I would tell myself, if anyone could have told me this, it would have been find a career advisor before you even get out of college. Like, as a generalist, I've found my way in a jack of trades kind of career path, and it's been very fun for me because I do really demand intellectual stimulation. And I didn't mention that very early on, being in film, I wanted to walk Foley, and it is fun, and the wage is good, but it has all the dark room and zero noise that a stage you might expect, and it was not the stimulation that I needed.
Yeah.
And to have a career advisor who would have really captured the things that were exciting to me, like, oh, you designed mazes when you were a kid, oh well, maybe you should be in games, right? Like, that would have been great to have somebody help me connect those dots.